Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about a feature in Python that's super powerful but maybe a little overlooked, the set. We're going to focus on how to loop through them, which is a skill you'll definitely need anytime you're handling data and you don't want any duplicates. So, let's kick things off with a question. Imagine you have a big list of items, maybe thousands of email addresses from a sign-up form, and you know it's packed with duplicates. How would you process that list, but make sure you only see each unique address just one time? Well, this is exactly the kind of problem that Python sets solve beautifully.
To really get why sets are so good at this, we first need to get a really clear idea of what they actually are.
Okay, a set really boils down to two key properties. First, it's a collection of unique elements. This means you can't have any duplicates. If you try to add an item that's already in there, Python just ignores it. Second, it's unordered. And this is a big one. Unlike a list, the items in a set don't have a specific position or index. So if you can just remember those two words, unique and unordered, you've pretty much nailed the core concept of a set.
And you know what? Making one is super simple. You just use curly braces and separate your items with commas, just like you see here. We've made a set called this set with 3 fruits in it. That's literally all it takes. All right, so we've made our set. Now for the main event. How do we actually loop through the items that are inside of it?
And here's the great news. There's no special trick to it. If you've ever used a for loop to go through a list, you already know exactly how to do this. You just use a standard for loop. It's a perfect example of how Python really tries to be consistent and easy to read.
Let's just look at the code here. We write for x in this set. What this is telling Python is, for every single item inside of this set, just for a moment call it x, and then run the code I've indented below. In our case, we're just printing out the value of x. The loop will just keep on going until it's gone through every single item. So when we run this code, we'll see each fruit pop up on the screen. But, and this is absolutely crucial, notice that little note on the slide, the order is not guaranteed. This goes right back to that core idea of sets being unordered. The first time you run this, cherry might be at the top. The next time, maybe it's apple. This is the fundamental trade-off. You get automatic duplicate handling, but you give up control over the order of the items. So why does it act like this? Why can't we just rely on the order? Let's break down the 3 fundamental rules of looping through a set. Understanding these is really the key to using sets the right way. This table breaks it down perfectly. You have the unordered nature, which we've just been talking about. The sequence can change on you. Then you have the guarantee of unique elements, which means you will only ever process each item one time. And finally, and this is a huge one, efficient access. Under the hood, Python has made sets incredibly fast, especially for just checking if an item exists. This makes them amazing for working with huge amounts of data where performance is everything.
So when you start to combine all these things, uniqueness, speed, simplicity, you can really begin to see why sets are such a powerful tool to have in your Python toolkit.
So let's just recap the big takeaways. Sets automatically get rid of duplicates for you. They are lightning fast for checking if an item is in the collection. This makes them the perfect choice whenever your main goal is to process a group of unique items, and here's that key trade-off again, you genuinely do not care about the order you process them in. So here's the bottom line. The crucial point is this. Whenever you find yourself needing to work with a collection of unique items, and you need to do it fast, a set should be the very first data structure that pops into your head. They give you performance and data integrity all wrapped up in one simple package.
And that brings us to the end. So I'll leave you with a little challenge. Think about the code you're working on right now. Is there a place where you're manually checking for duplicates, or maybe using a list when you don't actually need the order? That might be the perfect spot to use a simple, elegant set to make your code cleaner, faster, and more robust. Thanks for joining me today.